watching the Letterman Podcast with Mike Chisholm, endorsed by the Hello Deli.
Yeah.
La, la, la.
Welcome once again to the Letterman Podcast. My name is Mike Chisholm. All right, this is a fun episode. Steve Young, prolific late show, late night with David Letterman writer. 22 years, I believe his tenure was. Rupert Jee, of course, the iconic Rupert Jee. And then Irene Hoffman at Irene's place in Greece, the cradle of civilization. And the three of them are having so much fun in Greece, having an adventure after adventure. We get together and we have a very, very nice episode here. I hope you enjoyed the Rupert making sandwiches video that Steve shot, cut, edited, and released. Very, very cool to see that. I hope it warmed your heart the way that it warmed mine. And we just, the three friends, get together and have a conversation here. We talk a lot about, there's lots of Letterman stuff. We talk about if, times where Steve and Rupert worked together, some of the bits that they produced together. But we talk about Steve's episode of The Simpsons. I don't know if we've ever gone deep on that episode here on the show here. I know we had privately, but we talk about that a little bit. And just a really nice conversation catching up. And I just appreciate them very, very much. I hope you enjoy this episode of the Letterman Podcast featuring Steve Young, Rupert Jee, and Irene Hoffman. All right, my friends, I've been told that envy is not a good thing. So I have joyous envy right now. I really wish I wasn't here, but I was over there. You guys look like you're having a fantastic time. Rupert, Steve, Irene, welcome back to the show. Thank you for taking time out of your amazing, amazing excursion to Greece to come on our little dog and pony show. Thank you so much. It looks like you're having so much fun.
Got a little bit of tan for the first time in a few years.
Got the vitamin D going.
Yeah.
Irene, before we hit record here, I wanted to ask this question beforehand just in case, but I thought, you know what, let's do the tightrope without a net. Is this a dream come true having Rupert and Steve Young at your place in Greece?
Absolutely. Look, he asked me, am I what you expected? And I turned to him and I said, you're exactly what I expected. You're exactly what I expected.
At that point, did you start calling
way.
him Baby
Oh,
Angel?
in the best way.
Yeah.
In the best way. And he does not exude a lot of emotion, but sometimes when out of the blue he does, and it makes you laugh because you're not expecting it. He's Mr. Beige. But I do believe he's having a good time. Just as much fun as we're having with him.
And I think there's at first you would think Steve is very quiet and introverted, but he's shown a lot of emotions and a lot of fun with us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the other side of Steve that we never saw.
Well, you saw a little bit of it when you came to my show back in the end of March.
That's true, the show.
Yes.
But it's even better, even more so now. And it's just a joy. Steve is a wonderful guest, and I'll tell you, he makes the best martini.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
I was going to ask if there have been some Chavez exchanged, and if I certainly would love to be a part of that. I want to have a martini with you guys in the worst way right now. What's your secret,
Well,
Steve?
they didn't do Chivas this time. This time it was Red Label.
Oh yeah, we got
Johnny Walker, Red
Johnny
Label.
Walker, and
There we
there's
go.
the martinis. But when we've gone out a few times, I've been introduced to ouzo. Do you know ouzo? It's the stuff that tastes like licorice, and it's clear except when you pour it into a glass with ice, it turns this
Milky.
cloudy white, like something's terribly wrong. But apparently, it's okay.
I can't, Mike, we don't have time for me to tell you some of the things that, Mr. Dry Beige all of a sudden will say something, and I just, for 10 minutes, and then the next day I'm giggling over that same, because I've got the image in my head from what he said. He just does that. That's what he does.
Yeah, it just the humor just falls out of you, Steve, and we'll get to that in a second. But let's not bury the lead here.
It's launched.
It's launched.
There you go.
Let's not bury the lead here for a second. Rupert, as far as making sandwiches, it's been a year and a bit since you had the deli. You still got it. You still can make a hell of a sandwich.
Oh, it's in my blood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
Yeah.
It's very impressive.
I've always enjoyed sandwiches ever since I was a kid, and it continues now.
It's
and
funny.
He's spreading the gospel.
I said that to somebody who I've been going to my dad. My father went to a men's group every week, and he did it for about 15 years. And I have recently been going to that men's group, and it's kind of charming for them because my dad was such a fixture there, and now they're seeing Mike Jr. show up, and it came out that I host this show, and Rupert, your name comes up whenever I talk about hosting the show here. I always mention you, and one gentleman in particular who happened to be a real enthusiast of Late Show, when he asked about you and was endlessly fascinated with little tidbits that I would give him about you. And one of the things that I said is that, no, Rupert loves business, and he was in business for a while, but he had a dream. He always had a dream of opening up a sandwich shop. And he was just, his mind kind of melted. He goes, that was Rupert's dream. I'm like, no, you don't understand. That was his dream. He was in business. He was in a different sector of business, but he wanted to open a sandwich shop. And
he had conquered Wall Street. He had conquered high finance. He was at the top of the pyramid of the garment industry. This is another thing I learned. And he said, it bores me. And he said, what I really must do is open a sandwich shop. And boy did he make a go of that. Yes, there was some luck involved with Dave Letterman showing up, but
absolutely.
he didn't need that in order to be a successful entrepreneur.
You just love making the sandwiches. Like you truly love making the sandwiches.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally.
Mike, sorry.
My next project is buying a slicer for my home, actually.
I dream of a slicer.
Wow. Are there like Amazon reviews that you read?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
He does.
I have a handful of slices that I'm going to
This
get.
one's got a good safety guard, so you don't cut off. You can spend less, but you will lose a finger.
All right, Mike, I know we're not recording, but
no, we are recording. We're recording.
No.
Is there anything you want to retract?
No, I did want to tell you, because I told Steve, the Australians here, usually if we go somewhere, they do recognize them. It hasn't happened on this trip in Greece, but we went to Paris for 9 days. Yeah. We stayed in a super cool neighborhood in a house that was built in 1650.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
we just meandered through all these restaurants and such.
Mm-hmm.
For 3 nights in a row. Excuse me, aren't you the?
Are you
really?
Yes.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 nights in a row.
Est-ce que vous faites un sandwich?
Oh, that's
actually,
fantastic.
A Canadian saw me.
Yeah.
And he walked backwards and said, "Are you
the
guy from
he
actually walked back.
Yeah, walked backwards.
Went forward and then went back.
That's
and it's crazy. I kind of dropped the ball on the whole 10. Well, it was a drop the ball. Life dropped the ball on me when it came to the 10-year thing. It's been 10 years. It's been 10 years since the show went off the air. And right. I mean, I've wanted to talk to, I have on the sideline, talked to a whole bunch of the staffers and people involved and whatnot. That show endures. And when you look at, I don't know if you've had a chance to see the Samsung channel, but they're putting up a lot of the compilations on YouTube, all the things. That show, it after a decade still endures. And to this day, Rupert getting pulled aside like that, it's just, it's one of those things. I'm curious for all of you, because you're all involved. I mean, you're all there the last day and going all the way back, of course. Irene, you've got a huge history with the show, and it dwarfs in comparison to Rupert, which dwarfs in comparison to Steve's. 10 years later, is it surprising to you that the show still has so much, is so relevant?
No, but I do want to say what Steve told me about that, because I had said that I had gone to another late night show and it was utterly pleasant, but he he said it succinctly. It was because you never knew, the audience didn't know, everybody in the whole place didn't know what direction, what strange direction it might take.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the electricity. So no, it doesn't surprise me at all. It, to me, it's as solid and real and good as ever.
Rupert, are you surprised that 10 years later, after the show goes off the air, people are still recognizing you? Does that still?
Oh, yeah, I'm totally surprised. I thought they would have forgotten me after 2 years, but but it just goes on.
It doesn't hurt that you look exactly the same as you did 30 years ago.
God bless you, Steve. You made my day. Please come back to Greece with us again.
Right. Talk about your age.
Yeah,
Okay.
talk about that. Yeah, no, I'm just totally surprised. Yeah, I thought it would have ended many years ago.
Yeah.
It still goes on, even in my neighborhood. I mean, I walk by, people would say hi. I love what you did. I saw your retirement thing on YouTube. I mean,
Yeah.
it just goes on and on.
Yeah, not too long ago, I was walking with him, and all of a sudden, yo, Rupert, how's it going? And he just holds his hand up, and I said, "Is that a friend of yours?" Because I've never seen him in my life.
And then Rupert's burly security guards push the poor fan down to the sidewalk. Do not speak to Mr. G.
The original
Especially
G.
yelling across the street like that. Oh, that man.
No eye contact with him. Yeah. Everybody on the Upper West Side knows how it goes, except, the few unfortunate tourists. They learn the hard
We there was an opportunity that potentially we were going to do this, right when Steve arrived. I'm really glad that it hasn't happened. You can tell that you've been there for a while. Steve, it is so nice to see you this relaxed. And I got to ask, being Irene and Rupert, of course, have told us and us on the podcast as an audience as well, the magic of the island that she has been so blessed to have so much time and a piece of property there and whatnot. Has this ignited your muse at all, the muse at all, inspired you at all? Has this, in a different way than roaming around the streets of New York and finding the comedy that you do, is it different over there?
I've been taking a lot of pictures, and they may be pictures that would be a good B+ grade professional postcard.
Yep.
Occasionally I take some weirder ones. You may have seen a couple, but there are sites here that if I just pick up my phone and point it in any random direction and click it, I might get a pretty good picture here, and I might get a pretty great picture if you take enough pictures. I mean, just these islands and the ocean and the crazy aqua blue color of the water, and just it is striking, and it's one of those things that makes me think, and I say to people, it's good to be reminded once in a while, wow, this can be a wonderful and amazing and beautiful planet to live on.
Yeah.
And forget about, the troubles in the world, and I'm used to being in New York City and seeing what I see there, but it's good to just rewire your brain of, oh, look what we coexist with here.
Yep. But Mike, this is such a sweet little picture he's painting. Do you know how hard it is to get him out of the supermarket? Because that's how you pronounce it.
Say it again, please.
Spelled.
Say it again.
Supermarket.
Supermarket.
That sounds classy as all get out. That's classy as all get out.
Well, when they spell it in the Greek letters, that's the pronunciation. We can't get him out of the aisles, and I'm going, what is so fascinating about the jars or the bags and this guy, it sees things in the packaging, in the logos, in the that after he goes, I've got a photograph for you to look at. He goes, I can read Greek. And in Greek, in the Greek letters, Golka, which, yeah, okay,
Koka.
but Gola is spelled with an upside down V for the L.
Uh-huh.
But it doesn't matter. He goes, I can read Greek because the next line was Golka, Gola in Greek letters, and then Diet.
Coca-Cola diet. It's fun to play brain teasers in a foreign supermarket.
And he's clicking the whole time, clicking. And I'm like, Steve, it's time to go. We've got everything ready to go. And he's down some aisle. So, yes, he talked about the beauty and the relaxation and kind of forget time. I told him, if you know what day it is, we're not doing it exactly the right way. But he will stop in front of a building that's got some signage or something that I wouldn't even give a second notice to. And he's got something brilliant.
There are some crazy, like fractured English, like it's right, but it's wrong. Like somebody must have heard of Victoria's Secret at one point,
Yes.
and then they decided to open a store called Secret Underwear.
That's right. He was fascinated with that sign.
And the
Secret
barber.
underwear.
And there's a barber shop, and it's got the rotating pole, but the sign, I don't know if it's, I just don't know, but it says barber shoot, SHOOT, TD, SHOOD, like it's not barber shop,
Nope.
and it's not barber hood, it's barber shoot.
But I said, I believe if they're trying to say a hood of barbers because there were multiple
A hood of barbers.
barbers.
No,
but
it's not hood of barbers.
It has to be
No.
barber shoot.
Barber shoot.
Barber
So
shoot.
anytime now that there's some conversation and I don't know what to say, I just say barber shoot.
But he's learned about 10 words. He has.
Yeah, like thank you in Greek.
Yeah.
Aristo.
Yep.
Wow.
Yes.
That's good.
How do you say yes?
Yeah.
How do you say no?
Ohi.
Yeah. He knows.
Toileta.
Where's the toilet?
It's
Yeah,
a very
Aristo.
poetically, it's a very pleasing language. That's fantastic.
I
Have you
might
been
do
out?
a song about yes, no, thank you, toilet. We'll see.
Oh, Mike. All of a sudden, Mr. Beige shows up. There's about 3 steps up to the kitchen area and 3 steps down. And all of a sudden, one of those places, this is what you see Steve doing. Ne, orki, ne, orki. And he's thinking,
Aristo.
yeah, and he's thinking of some kind of something or other that he can, and he's dancing. This man.
You know, it's educational. It's for the kids. It's like Sesame Street.
It's
It
for the
wasn't
kids.
expected.
Yes. It's for the kids.
It wasn't expected at all. And we have times where the wind just dies.
Yep.
That's when the mosquitoes say, let's see if they've got a door open.
Yeah.
Rupert and I have welts, and you can only buy isopropyl alcohol at the pharmacy, but they sell it in 95% strength. And so you can soothe your bites.
Add a little cranberry sauce
Yeah.
and a slice of
And this
Make
man,
a hell of a Cosmo.
cranberry.
yeah, but he hasn't gotten bitten once.
Well, we thought maybe there was like something like that.
You'd be
But
scratching it
I'm
until
just so, I don't know.
He's mighty
It was not
Steve
annoying
Young.
to
He's
you, though.
immune to
No,
mosquitoes.
I enjoy them.
I know, but I told him if those were official mosquito bites, he would be scratching them till they were raw. But anyway, he's immune.
Oh, that's
Boring.
charming. That's charming that the mosquitoes are intimidated by the comedy prowess
Of-
of Mr.
Yes.
Or
Mighty
they just
Steve
think,
Young.
not worth it.
Yeah.
He won't give us a good response. Move on.
Yeah. And he's a white boy. He's
Yeah, not
very,
enough vitamin D in that one, maybe, perhaps. Until the end of this trip. How much longer are you there for?
Going back Sunday.
Okay, so a few more days. You got a few
Yeah.
more days there. Needless to say, charged up the batteries in all sorts of ways. I mean, just I can see the relaxed nature and feel it through the camera right now. It might be the martinis too.
I
I don't know if
looked
you.
tense before because I think I'm always relaxed.
Well, I suppose that's true. I would say even like no, you know what? It's more of an extroverted perhaps presentation of where you're at right now. I just it's
Right.
different. The energy is different.
Maybe it's the linen shirt.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that she's calling you Mr. Beige. When before we started recording, she called you Baby Angel, which I thought was a very interesting root beer and Baby
Yeah,
Angel. Sounds like a new buddy cop movie.
we're gonna keep workshopping names. I'm not sure I'm happy with either of those. honestly.
no, he hasn't told me to stop, but I haven't sensed that he wants me to stop immediately.
Uh-huh.
So I continue until he tells me stop.
I don't mind Mr. Beige because it does show one half of the dichotomy, and we were talking about how
Mhm.
my exterior seems so pleasant and calm, and then I open my mouth and crazy bullshit comes out. But crazy bullshit with such a deadpan, pleasant affect.
That's right.
Mhm.
And he has cracked me up so many times
Oh,
on this trip.
Steve is funny.
He's funny.
I had to go to Greece to get it confirmed. But yes,
Let's for just for some history's sake, Steve and Rupert, did you interact very much during the show's run? Were there times where you two interacted, professionally or personally? Did you interact very much? Like Steve, did you eat at the deli very much, or also were you part of the bits that Rupert was in, other than just writing it in a room, 140 feet adjacent and above? Did you guys spend a lot of time together?
I never went out and shot a field piece with Rupert, I don't think.
No, but you shot a few pieces in the deli.
Probably so, yes.
Uh-huh.
And occasionally, yes, I did get lunch at the deli, but not every day. So I would say I had a casual but not inner circle level of knowing Rupert.
But I will say something. Of course, after Bathtubs, you had encouraged me to watch it and you had talked about it.
Yes.
And then Rupert also saw it, loved it. But I did ask him, and he said, I don't remember Steve as a real frequent presence, but every single time he ever did interact with me, always
And he's paid in full promptly.
and ultra polite.
Oh no, Steve, yeah.
Ultra
And
polite.
very easy to work with.
He said he was just a very polite presence all the time. And that made me happy because, well, I don't know how stressed out they get upstairs. I don't know. But I would imagine.
Well, we've heard stories. We've heard stories that there
Yep.
was stress sometimes.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Well,
Yeah, I can remember at least 2 or 3 times when there was.
Steve, do you remember anything that you wrote specifically for Rupert?
We were talking about one thing that made me howl with laughter the way it turned out. I believe Rupert recalled it was called What's on the iPod? And it would be this thing where, like maybe in conjunction with the Grammys.
Yep.
All right, Rupert, we've got this iPod loaded up with a bunch of the Grammy nominated songs for this year. We want you to put these headphones on and press play. The song's going to begin. And even if you don't know the song, just sing along with it. And so Rupert puts these earbuds in and sort of nervously presses play and goes, "Oh, baby. Yeah, well, I like it when you," just like bewildered but game, and just the craziest, unearthly, not quite music.
and I saw that real time.
We did that about 6 times.
I thought it was hysterical.
Yeah, and I was telling Rupert about how to this day, there's really only him and maybe a couple other people that I ever thought the combination of them and Dave just automatically was just killer. And Rupert had such a gamely, pleasant, trying to get along. Clearly not a showbiz diva,
Right.
which was why it worked.
Yeah.
If Rupert had been, oh, I've got to ride this thing to Hollywood, it would have stunk to high heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Rupert was exactly who he was, a great, friendly guy who had certain interests and talents, but being part of a comedy show would not have occurred to him.
No.
And that's why it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
That was a sentiment that we expressed. Many different people expressed at the retirement party. How we talked about, like that was you, because it's not okay, Rupert. It's not like you didn't have opportunities. You had all sorts of different opportunities. And I mean, we're so far after the show that
He was supposed to be the main guy in the first Mission Impossible movie. Oh no, I want to just make sandwiches. After that, they didn't call him again, but it's a very interesting what if.
But you had opportunities to go on other shows. You had opportunities to be part of other projects that at different degrees and whatnot. But you were really, really careful with that stuff.
Yeah, no, I was never interested. I mean, being with the Late Show was good enough for me. I mean, it's brought enough memories to last a lifetime. And
Yeah.
If some, let's say, for instance, Jay Leno had reached out to you and said, come on the show and do some stuff and we'll buy you a new slicer, would you have done it?
No.
Absolutely not.
Not even for a slicer.
No, not just one slicer.
Well, the best slicer, the
No.
one with the finger guard.
No.
No.
No. Okay. Well, that is dedication.
No. We already had.
I know my loyalties.
Yeah.
And it's only to one show, and that is a Late Show
Yeah.
with David Letterman.
Yeah.
That's it.
That was it.
Uh,
And I knew that.
Yeah, and I mean,
Minute one.
The day Dave retired was the day I said, good, it's over. I'm not doing anything else after that.
Well, yeah, but the day he retired, Rupert was in a bad way for a long time. He was so melancholy, and we would walk by we'd walk in that vicinity, and he would just say, I'm heartbroken. It's that.
Yeah, for 5 years, it was just, just work.
And now you've learned to live again here in Greece, where rock and roll music is playing.
And with Steve Young.
And with Steve Young.
And peanuts.
He's got me addicted to this stuff too, and he loves them. And now I'm starting.
Are they honey roasted?
No.
Oh,
Salted.
it's a medley. It's a medley. There's chickpeas,
Yeah, it's got some other.
Some little bits of corn.
corn.
And this is the less elaborate party mix. We don't need to spend a huge
No.
amount of your time on this,
No.
but we had another one a few days ago that we ran through that had little cracker bits in it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you want to focus on the nuts.
Right. So, and then when I see him picking through them, and then I go, oh, I think I want some too.
What if I put one of those in my mouth?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's food. It is good. Okay.
It's good food. Crunchy.
Focus on the nut
Oh.
should be on a t-shirt somewhere. I want to stay on the party mix for a second here. This is Greek party mix, not available in the United States or Canada.
It seems extremely American. In fact, my intense survey of the grocery stores have proven that there is a very heavy influence of American
There is.
Yeah.
junk food and popular food.
Yeah.
And
Just with Greek lettering on it. Because, but the one thing they haven't done, and I used to put it in my suitcase, Jif, no Jif peanut butter. We did see in Greek. Oh, and SAG, but I don't have it in my neck of the woods.
No SAG available in Greece.
you got to put some upside down V's on that.
Yeah, you'd have to have some up, but they do spell what they have, and I guarantee you, it's not SAG, it's not Jif, it's something that I'm not going to try.
Well, there was a kind I found that I liked the label. It just said "Hungry Not."
Yeah, you took a picture of it.
Hey, they get
So
right to the point. That sounds good to me. Let's just get it done.
But the question is, you eat it and then you're hungry not, or it's good for when you're not hungry.
Oh,
But
see.
you don't really want it and it wasn't worth it anyway.
No, yeah, now it's confusing. I was there and now I'm not. The nice thing
My
about sag
stand-up
peanut
career is flourishing. What's the deal with hungry not?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
the thing about
He was
sag
so-
peanut butter in Greece, just spell it in Greek. All you have to do is just put it upside down, and there it is. There's sag in Greek, and just like that.
No,
Our
that's
good friend
Russian.
Walter Kim
Yeah.
and Nancy.
Yeah. When I get to New York, I'm going to devour some of that. I do like, and I like doing it like this. I just open my mouth and let it flow.
I asked Walter if it was okay because, like, I use Walter's name very sparingly here, like because I'm just so grateful that he is as kind as he is. And I
Talking
asked
about
him,
Walter Matthau, or
Walter Matthau, yes, the grumpy old
Okay.
man himself.
yeah, he's the best.
Steve is on a
Um,
roll.
Yeah.
That's right. It's some sort of peanut fueled mania.
Well, clearly he's hungry not. But I asked Walter if I said, can I talk about Rupert sent me the he was delighted when I sent him the text. I believe he was delighted, or he feigned delight very well. And as he was trying to just say, stop texting me. I sent him the picture of the sag peanut butter. I said, not available in Kelowna, but they tariffed the hell out of it, and I got it. And he was charmed by that. Rupert sent me the bottle of sag peanut butter, and I said, "Can I talk about it on the show?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, absolutely." So this is Walter Kim's peanut butter. It's literally the ingredients. It's got 3 ingredients, and the ingredients are peanuts and sea salt. Oh, so it's 2 ingredients. I'm sorry. I thought it was 3. I thought it was peanuts,
I guess
sea, and
sea
salt.
salt
It's sea salt.
contains
Yes,
2 words, so
that's right.
but
That's right.
but could you check the expiration date on that thing?
Yeah,
How
yeah,
long
yeah,
have you
yeah,
had
yeah.
that on?
Yeah. 2048. Oh, pretty good. Right on. It'll
I don't
last.
believe it.
Serious?
Is that true?
2048?
No,
It's
not
delicious.
20.
Are you making
It
a
has no
humorous remark? Is that
no, it's clearly not humorous. It does
Wow.
not, it has no expiration date, which to me,
okay?
that says a lot right there. And
Yeah, it's
by the way,
delicious.
it does give the very handy instruction. And obviously, the instructions like this are caused, because somebody out there didn't know how to do it. If oil separation occurs, flip bottle over. That's all you got to do is this. Oh, if oil saturation, just
Right.
flip the bottle.
Sure, but they don't tell you how to flip the bottle.
That reminds me of a Homer Simpson gag at somewhere. There's a Simpsons gag. Irene, maybe you might know what it is. Homer was talking about a warning label. It might have been from silica gel, do not eat, or something like that. And Homer made the remark, "Oh, they made that for me. They made that because of me," which I thought was a really, I like that joke a lot. Steve, you wrote a
I don't
Simpsons.
remember, but that's Homer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Homer. Now, Steve, you wrote a Simpsons episode. Have you and Irene gone deep on the Simpsons at all? Have you guys talked about that at all?
little
Because
bit.
Irene goes
And
very
she-
deep on the Simpsons.
Yes, I've learned about that in a way I hadn't fully understood before, but she probably has seen my episode, which is called Hurricane Nettie, but it's quite back far in time now, and she was unable to call it up on the internet here. It's like geo fenced, or I
I
don't know.
have to wait till I get home because I put my provider on vacation mode, and because of that, they're not letting me have it here. But it's season 8. I forgot if it's episode 3, season 8. I'm not sure, but they did let me see little bits of it. I love it. I so far.
It's a good episode, and I've explained to her and a lot of people don't understand this. If an episode of a TV series has one writer's name on it, it's not that that's wrong. It's that it's only about 10% of the story.
Right.
And yes, I took the reins and wrote up an outline and a first draft, but using the material that the entire room came up with. And then I handed it off and it was further worked on without me. So yes, I do have some jokes in there, but it's hardly my creative vision. It's just I was a good team member for that short amount of time.
But see, the other thing, the little segment that I saw yesterday, because I'm trying to, cough it up, the visual jokes that just from the very beginning of the episode, I don't know if somebody sits around like a writer who says, well, let's get the cartoonist to have this. And there, I can't remember exactly what I'm trying to tell you that caught my humor, but there's a visual of something kind of floating off in the wind. And it's funny, but I don't know if the writers sit down and say, well, let's see if the cartoonist can
Yes.
draw that.
The writers packed every episode, and I'm sure still do, with 1,000 details, which will only be fully understood if you freeze frame it.
Right.
In fact, they were always talking about, oh, we got to write some more things for the background for the freeze framers.
Yeah.
That's me.
For the freeze framers.
That's-
Oh, like us. Yeah.
I was one.
Me too. In high school, we used to pause The Simpsons all the time, especially when they do the throws. They would throw from one scene to like another across the like the opening credits did in the Do the Bartman video a bunch of times where it would throw across and you'd see all the characters that were inserted, but you had to go literally frame by frame. Now, I want to make sure this is the episode where Ned loses his house and then everyone goes and builds him a house and then he loses his mind. This is the episode you are credited with writing, right?
That's correct.
See, that episode, that does not surprise me at all that is a Steve Young episode because there's a lot of strangeness in that episode. It is and I don't know how much of that strangeness was just started by you and then carried on with other people, but this is the room with the electricity. like this is that to me seems like a Steve Young line.
This happened all the time at the Letterman show, where somebody I know would watch the show and the next day say, oh, I saw something on the show last night. I know it was your joke. They'd read it to me and nope, never. Maybe once in 100 times because the whole room had the vibe.
Yep.
And yes, there were different sub flavors of it, but even people might in the room say, I've got an idea I'm going to pitch. It seems to me like a Steve Young idea.
Yes.
So other people would kind of try out something in your lane, but the lanes were not marked clearly, and you never know. But yeah, it's very hard to say that you can identify someone's jokes.
And Mike, when I went out to The Simpsons for the cold reads, the writers, and I thought it was a big conference table and it was a tiny trailer. But the writers, it seemed like maybe 8 to 10 writers were huddled on the left-hand side from where I was sitting of the conference table. The actors were on the right-hand side. And they had no amplification whatsoever in this trailer, but boy, did their voices boom. And then you had Matt Groening in the middle, Homer sat across, Dan Castellaneta sat directly across. But I was, of course, very intrigued by, I never looked at the script. Why should I look at the script when I'm looking at these actors and they move in their chairs and they go forward and back. But the writers caught my attention incredibly. But it seemed the 3 times that we went to the cold read, other than let's say Tim Long, it seemed like a different collection of writers. So I did pick his brain about that kind of thing.
I want to go back to that episode for a second. Like Tim Long, by the way, shout out to Tim Long. Please come on the show. Fellow Canadian, in fact. I want to go back to that episode for a second because I'm curious. That episode actually, like every once in a while, a Simpsons episode, especially early on, would advance the lore a little bit. It would actually advance the greater storyline with something that it would make the things that we kind of take for granted in the show, it would give it a little bit of width and breadth. Your episode did that because it was the origin of Ned speaking the way that he speaks, the Oakley Dokley stuff, like the little things like that. Was that ever in your mind when you were creating the outline for the show? Or was it just, hey, Ned's house could get hit by a hurricane and the town could come together, and then you realize, and then the second and third act, it's about Ned's past and how he became how he become. Like I'm curious as to how that.
I do remember this episode.
Yeah,
there you go.
I think that was all worked out in the room when I was there for 2 days, and everybody was saying maybe this, maybe that. Oh, I like that. oh yeah, let's make it like that. What else happens next? So communally, it's
Yeah.
sort of hammered out. It's not nailed down yet, but there's still maybe this, maybe that when you're writing it. But that whole thrust of that premise and its turns, I think, was figured out in the room. And the whole premise of here comes the hurricane and only Flanders' house is destroyed.
Yeah.
That existed as like a one paragraph thing before I even got there. So it wasn't like I brought them this idea.
I gotcha.
But this was enough into the show's history that they were now luxuriating in the let's explore the backstories of
Yes.
the B level characters. And all that.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
now that you said that, I do remember the episode. And yeah, I didn't realize how communally, you know, it works.
Yeah, I wish I could take credit for much more of it, but I can't.
Well, and John Swartzenwelder, if I said his name right, I'm
Yep.
sure I did
Swartzwelder,
not.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's, he's like forever a consultant because they ship things back and forth and he to him and such, and then they go from there. But I didn't really know much about any of that at all. He informed me, but those writers, they intrigued me. I looked as often as I could over to them,
Yep.
and then the one time that I whispered, I think that's Matt Groening. And I said it really quietly, but we're in a tiny trailer. And he turns around and says, "How you doing, folks?"
Aw.
I couldn't talk. I could not talk at all. I just went like this. And he said, "Well, depending on how much you laugh today, in 6 months, you'll see how we've, you know, tweaked the script that you have in your hands today." And I just was like thrilled. And he had his Dockers pants on. I was so happy. Here he is, mega successful, and he's got those Dockers pants and some tennis shoes on, and we were ready to roll. But James L. Brooks was also in the room the third time
Yeah.
with Eric Idle. And James L. Brooks, when he laughed at a joke, I told Steve, those trailer walls shook. That's how booming his laugh was.
It was in a trailer.
Trailer.
You'd think a successful show could afford to rent some good office space.
No trailer.
All right, well, they clearly know.
And Eric Idle had to duck under the doorway because he's so tall, and the doorway was short. And he ducked under. It was fun.
Did you meet
blast.
Groening when you were there, Steve?
Did you?
Yeah, a little bit. And then later, they needed a writer for the animated Christmas special that he was producing.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, let's get that guy, Steve Young, from a few months ago." And I didn't work with him closely, but I guess he liked me well enough. And one time when he came into New York, he said, "Hey, I'm going to be in New York. You want to hang out?" So we went to the Museum of Modern Art together.
Wow.
Sorry, you never told me that.
That must have been some, yeah, that
He
must
had
have
a
been
great formulation. We were just looking at abstract modern art, which to me can ride a very tricky line between interesting and worthless.
I agree.
Yes.
But he said, my definition of whether art is worthwhile or not is, would I rescue it from a dumpster?
That's a great
And
line.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And
Great
see,
line.
I think 60% of Museum of Modern Art is great.
60%. Okay. They've upgraded.
For me, 60%. See?
Trump says you're right. Okay.
To go back to The Simpsons for a second, I've gone back and forth a little bit with Bill Oakley. I want to have him on the show because one of the things I've always wanted to explore in this show is the connection between The Simpsons and the Letterman universe, because there's a lot of connections, a lot, not just because of the early exodus of from Letterman writers and people who joined the early version of The Simpsons, but also the humor, and then along the way, all throughout the years, the shows have just been connected. The Simpsons always has has little Easter eggs and lines that reference the Letterman show. You know, there are
Yes.
blatant examples like Dave did a couch gag, and
Yes.
perhaps one or two other appearances, that sort of thing. I'm super curious, the collaboration between your writer's room and the writer's room on The Simpsons, would it be similar, or was it entirely different?
Writer's room.
Because we were doing a show that was on every day. It was a different animal. And in the writer's room at The Simpsons, I mean, people put in serious long days there,
Yeah.
but they were all working on the early forms of scripts that would air 10, 11 months later, maybe.
Wow.
Sure.
So, yes, there's always the pressure. The pipeline is relentless, but it's not quite the same feeling of we got to get something figured out in the next 20 minutes because the show goes on in 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, it was similar sorts of people there, I suppose, just doing a different kind of project.
Writing together, yeah, and I appreciate the fact that, you know, the daily grind is a very, very different deal. I just thought the writers, you know, the yes and effect, it seems to be a huge part of the Simpsons, you know, formula where writers hear something and then they add little bits to it and it becomes this new thing that's really is a collaboration. You've done a good job describing that. I was
Yeah,
curious
in
if
fact,
there was any Letterman influence on that.
Well, we on a good day in the Letterman room, somebody would have the first half of an idea and put it out very meekly, saying, "I don't know where this goes," and somebody else
Picks
takes
up.
"aha" and slam dunks it with something that no one else would have thought of. That's great. I did see a good version of that when I was in the Simpsons room because it's all about the things happening around town with the hurricane, and somebody pitched the hurricane blows the roof off the prison where they're about to electrocute the condemned
Yes.
prisoner, and he flies out of the electric chair at the last minute and says, "So long, suckers."
Suckers.
And Matt Groening said, "But then what if he flies directly into high tension wires and gets electrocuted?" And we said,
That's
"Well,
right,
there
it
we
was
go.
tension
That's-
wires. Yes.
Yeah,
I thought he got
that's
struck by
exactly
lightning,
right.
but it was wires.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
That is funny. Oh my word.
There's a visual joke in that episode too, where they're touring the house that the neighbors all haphazardly built together.
Oh yeah.
And it's a
The whole town is
perspective
banded
joke.
together to rebuild Ned Flanders' house, but once you get in, you realize they had no idea how to do anything.
And
It
again,
was
this is
inspiring, and then it was horrifying.
right. Horrifying. And one of the things that I think, oh man, that feels like it's within the Steve Young vein of humor is one of them opens the room, and I forget which one opens the door, but all you see is the other side of the room, and all you see is Todd's eye looking at you because the perspective is they use it's a perspective joke to make it seem like the room zoomed into nothing. And that to me, again, that episode just feels like it has a fingerprints.
What looks like a long hallway, they start down, you realize, oh, it actually only becomes this hall.
Yeah. And
I remember that now.
there you go.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. It was a hell of an episode, and I recommend to anybody who's got well, up here in Canada, we got Simpsons on the Disney Plus. They have that down in the States? I think they do. I think the Simpsons are
That's
there.
where mine is.
Yeah, I highly recommend jumping in and watching that episode. It's a really, really good one. Irene, one of the things I wanted to know is, have you gotten them out dancing yet?
Yeah, Steve danced, and Rupert did not videotape it.
I was going to ask if there's footage. No footage of Steve
It's
dancing.
probably for the best. There is photographic proof, but no one has to watch video of it.
He got it.
Can I send him the pictures?
Yes,
I'll send you the pictures, Mike.
But I wanted Steve to post them because there's a photograph of his dancing next to me. I should have put him behind me. And I told him, you just watch the first or second dance, or that's your cue.
Uh-huh.
But before long, you know, you're holding hands, and you can feel the next person, and before long, I could feel he got it. He got the beat. And I don't know if he had fun or not. I was delighted that he was.
No, Steve looked like he was enjoying
Oh,
it.
and there's the one
once
photo.
I kind of figured out that.
Yeah, yeah. And he's smiling away in one of the photographs, and that made me
That's
just
right. We cannot post that photo.
that one. Yes,
No one will see me.
It's not on brand.
it ruins his brand.
I want to be
He's
very
blocked.
ginger, but ask this question very gingerly. Not to tell any too many tales out of school, but do the Greek women, have they taken to this Titan from America who has come and invaded your little island?
Irene will tell people that American Commedia Graphos,
Yeah.
American. Simpsons. Oh, Simpsons.
Oh, immediately when I say The Simpsons, they light up because every single one of these people watch it a lot.
I say that's right. I'm Homer Simpson.
But yeah, but he doesn't know what else that I say in Greek. And I said, look at him, calm, mild-mannered, and yet can write that kind of comedy. I always end with, look at him, how calm and mild-mannered he is, but he can write the comedy. But I did want to say something else about, I thought you were going to ask, there's a lot of really pretty young girls here, and you're EU now.
Yes.
Back in the day, we were very isolated, and they were whatever. And so I said, Steve, we are going to go by some of the nightclubs where the really wowee girls are. He goes, okay. Okay. So we strolled, and I'm going like this. Look at that one. She's just gorgeous. And he just gives that casual glance. Yeah. And then we keep on going. And I go, wait a minute, look at that one over there.
And I say, these women could be my daughters. It's hard for me to think about it. Hey, baby, you ought to get with the gray-haired guy.
Yeah.
I've got a guitar back at the place.
He got granddad. He goes, you want to have a swirl with the granddad?
A swirl. Yes.
I'll tell you what it was like before there was the internet.
Candy's not home right now. I can't wait to ask her if she wants to go for a swirl. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Do you brought your guitar though, right?
He did.
Yes, I brought a sort of travel-friendly guitar.
Yep. And you've broken it out. Like, have you written anything? Have you played a lot?
I did the read a book video that I think you saw.
I did.
That was recorded. I guess it was here up on the roof looking out over there. And that music was recorded here. That's why I fixed up your closet with the towels and blankets for a vocal booth.
Right? And it was a musty closet. And I just accidentally opened the door, and there's this beach towel and this blanket. And I went, don't tell me. He goes, no, it's a great recording studio.
In Nashville, you pay thousands of dollars for that musty smell that gets, it's authentic.
But he did it. He used it. He goes, no, it's good. It's good.
And then right before I left, I had the beginnings of that riff. But I thought, oh, maybe I'll do a video with Rupert making a sandwich. So I did it.
It's fat. It's, in my opinion, it's perfect. Now
it is perfect.
It's perfect. But his very first version of it had a metronome. I'm sure. Whatever. The reason people use metronomes. I fell in love with that version too, and I said, "Oh, Steve, please give me a song with
because it had some percussion in it. It had percussion.
Yes, I put on a drum track. I knew how many beats per minute I'd done the metronome to, so I went on YouTube. You can find all sorts of styles of drum tracks in different beats per minute. And I found one that was 118 beats a minute in this sort of swampy rock, bluesy groove, and Creative Commons, okay for reuse.
Yeah.
So I took that and
Yes.
chopped it up a little bit and moved it around so different things hit at the different parts. But yes, it's a real drum track.
And he did a little cool syncopate because all of the dances here that are ethnic to this island involve syncopation.
Right.
Step, hold, you know, you hold and step. And he found this little tiny bit of that, and I went, ooh, yeah. I just really loved it.
But can we talk about the sandwich element of this? Because
Yes.
I had forgot what a magnificent sandwich can be like with somebody who puts 14 ingredients in it.
Yes.
And I thought, wow, and Dave used to sort of say, oh, it's a meal in itself. And I thought, that's not an exaggeration at all. Look, there's like 4 kinds of meat and cheese and lettuce, tomato, and onions, and then the various dressings and the seasoning and the mustard and the mayo. I thought, wow, just to see that done in front of me. And I did get Rupert to try a few things like, oh, Rupert, hold the salami up and go, oh. And so he would do that, or smell the slice of cheese. And do some crazy knife action for me. And so I thought, yes, it's fun to see Rupert make a sandwich, but ideally we can intersperse it with little bits.
But at lunch, we actually thoroughly loved these sandwiches because they're delicious. But I said, Steve, you do need to know that under no circumstances do any of the Greeks anywhere on this island have sandwiches for lunch. They have olives, feta, a sardine, a glass of ouzo, a big chunk of bread, watermelon when it's in season, grapes, tomatoes, peppers. Never are they going to have what we love.
This is how the world changes. We introduce new things. 100 years from now, Greeks will say, "Of course we eat sandwich for lunch. Why would we not eat sandwich for lunch?
Yes.
That's 14 ingredients. It's a meal in itself."
They are delicious. And I've lost about 14 pounds, and I am so thrilled about that. But the sandwich comes along, and it's like, I'm going to have half.
Yes.
And I just immediately wolf it.
It was worth it, though, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Those sandwiches are delightful.
I wouldn't have had half. Rupert, I would have had the whole thing.
You could see Rupert laughing at various points when I had told him, like, pick up the piece of red onion, put it near your eye, like, and then pretend you're like making you cry. And then he puts it down, and you can tell he's just laughing at the absurd. But that I thought was good because it just shows I'm not just joylessly grinding out this thing with a guy who doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Oh no, I enjoy working with Steve on.
Yeah, no, Rupert's a good actor. He just doesn't.
Oh, I can't.
Except when I said, whip your face toward the camera and glare at me, and you went.
Yeah, he did. He did something weird.
Yeah, it was very good.
I think it turned out spectacularly, and he loves to spend a portion of the day, and I interrupt him, and he's like, oh God, she's going to interrupt me again. But he takes a shadowy place in this house that I refuse to clean the pine needles, or actually refuse to clean much. And I said, it's a beach house, Steve. I did tell you that.
Pine needles are very clean. They're on the floor, but they are clean.
They're clean. And he tucks himself away, and we play musical chairs to find shade.
Yeah.
And if there's quiet time, especially, I think he loves siesta time, because that quiet time, it's like, please don't bother me, because I am microscopically working on this little idea that I've got. And he loves it. He's like so focused on it.
Yeah, we've talked about this. You're doing something you should be doing when 6 hours go by in a heartbeat, and you realize, oh, I forgot to eat a meal because I was so excited about working on it.
Yeah, and
that's how I get with editing these things or recording the music or putting it together.
Yeah, that's what he does. And
it's really crazy, Steve. Like you think about it, and I understand that on the show, like when somebody was doing an extra or something like that, they became basically a producer, and they would have to wear a whole bunch of hats to see the idea through fruition. However, you have taken that to another level when it comes to
Right.
this, because you conceive, and then the writing part, okay, then you gotta be your own DP and shoot it. Like you said, you got to make sure the audio's right, and your standards are that high, because
Yeah,
they were
right.
ingrained, I assume, because they were ingrained in you for
The
so long.
standards are high in the amateur category. That's what I'll say.
Sure. Okay. Well, we'll call it that, but you're also probably better than most amateur editors that are walking around on the earth right now. And you've had to
Absolutely.
become that. Not just because you're directing somebody in a different department, but you're actually doing it yourself. Um,
Yeah.
it's really crazy watching the way that you
So-
can conceive, shoot, cut, and release these videos the way that you do, Steve.
Yeah.
I love it, and I'm so grateful that you're doing it. It's that humor that, like, again, when 10 years, when Dave went off the air, there's a certain type of humor that exists. The subversive, the esoteric, whatever you want to call it. And it's getting rarer. It just really is. It seems to be disappearing in so many ways, and you're keeping that alive. Like, I'm so grateful for the stuff you're putting out, man. And I'm sure that you're really enjoying me singing your praises right now. I'm sure it's just really,
Thank you. I've been enjoying finding ways in the modern world and the modern ecosystem to do the things I want to do. And the tools are all there now, whether it's a guitar you can plug into a laptop,
Yep.
or an editing suite that's pretty powerful on your phone. You still have to have an idea and know kind of what to do and what not to do and when it's time to stop and all that. And the Letterman show built in a lot for me of have the good idea, develop it, and then stop. I'm sure I've said this many times. Get out before people get tired of it.
Yep.
So that's why so many things mine are either 40 seconds or 2 minutes, but it's rare to be a 9 minute
Yeah.
exhaustion fest.
Well, that's I'd enjoy the 9 minutes, but the cool thing about this video that he made is that we do absorb a lot of the details, but we don't realize that he's meticulously working on each of those details, so they kind of wash over and through us. We feel it, we sense it, but we don't really know exactly what it took for him to get there.
The effort, and it's in
Right.
so many disciplines, make it look like it was just
Yeah.
obvious and couldn't have been any other way.
Yeah.
But I was telling Irene that a lot of the I throw all the pieces down, but then I sliding things by a tenth of a second,
Yep.
or whatever, because you may not consciously feel jarred by it, but a subconscious
Yes.
tiny trigger of, oh, that wasn't quite right, even if you could never say why. But then if you fix it, you go, that's it.
Yeah.
And the show
And we
calibrated
just-
that in you over the years, right? Because of how meticulous
It must
everything
have.
was. Yeah.
I never thought I was born to be an editor or a filmmaker, and I still don't consider myself either of those things. I'm a miscellaneous weirdo who has learned to play with some toys and tools.
And an
He's
actor.
been such
that's
today.
right.
yeah.
Today was you threw up the post today about the short that you're in. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's last fall I was at the Mystic Connecticut Film Festival with the one that we did last year. My friend Mark Kiefer and I made this one called The Day Keeper, about me as the lighthouse keeper who had the daytime shift when you couldn't really tell whether the light was even on. But some other film people I saw in Mystic who saw the Day Keeper and enjoyed me in it said, "Oh, we're gearing up to do another film, make a new short. Would you be interested in maybe an acting role? Because we saw you." I said, "Oh, sure." So that's one thing I love about this sort of part of my life is leave your apartment, go someplace, whether it's Indianapolis or Connecticut or wherever, and you might meet the people who want to do the next thing with you. And it's maybe not a thing you would ever imagine yourself. So yes, I end up playing this hitman in this short film and we spent a couple days shooting up in I guess it was uh, Connecticut near the Massachusetts border, and me digging a grave in the forest and all this. But it was a lot of fun, and it turned out quite well. Talented people making it, and we're in Indie Shorts, which is a very good film
Yeah.
festival, and
Yeah.
then on to Woods Hole in Cape Cod, which is one of my favorites also.
Well, did you catch it on his acting on the book video? That is hysterical. Read a book.
Yeah.
The very end, he wants us to read something about eating insects. And he sits back and he's over here, sits back in the chair, and then just makes this face that to me is just perfect. Yeah.
The mild,
Yeah.
skeptical disgust, but I did own that book, and I brought it from New York to Greece so I could shoot that final shot myself.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes,
That's
he did.
fantastic.
And here's Rupert. Where do you find those unusual books? Just like, oh my gosh.
Over the years,
But
man.
he is
Well, have you found any? I gotta ask every time I talk to you. Have you found any new industrial music publications or recordings of any sort to add to the collection, or is it still?
Yeah, a friend of mine tipped me off to some IBM record that I probably can get that I'd never heard of. It's like some Atlanta branch of employees singing dismally specific songs about what it's like to work at the IBM branch in Atlanta. I haven't heard it yet, but yeah, that once in a while there's still something new there. But like the books thing, that was me at a flea market, and this table full of books, and I've started picking them up. Oh, that's crazy! I got to take a picture of that. By the time I had like three, I thought I think this is going to be a song. So to me, that's kind of the outlet now. Is anything I see out in the world, my antenna is up, and that could be the next little project.
Well, when he told me about the flea market thing, because I love to I scan. I'm a really good scanner, but then I also micro look.
Yep.
And in Paris, they have one of the best flea markets ever. And of course, we had already been there 3.5 hours, and I could tell that my friend was starting to get tired, and I wanted to micro. But when he told me about, I just linger around and look at in flea markets. Once I saw him scoping out the aisles in the supermarket, and like he just was just so. I said, "Oh yeah, he's a flea market kind of guy," because he just zeroed in on the strangest things.
Rupert, anything for you at flea markets?
No,
I'm not a big fan of.
he just walked along with me.
No
Yep.
vintage meat slicers for Rupert.
No.
I got 4 very cool things, and Rupert's response was, "Yeah, they're nice. That's it."
How hot is it right
we
there?
had a good-
How hot is it where you are right now? Are you sweating?
We're lucky right
It's in
now.
the 80s, right?
It
It's like
hasn't
80.
been, I mean, it's hot in the direct sun in the middle of the day, but
Right.
I don't think it gets much above 80.
Yeah.
It's
If
it's
we
been
have
fun to
got-
watch the sunset this last hour and watch the sun changing. Your lighting has
Yeah.
changed all around you, and it seems so magical and beautiful. And I am moving into the close here. First off, is there okay? Let's go back. Daykeeper, people can see that now, right?
Oh, that's still got a few more possible festivals, and I'm sure sometime later this year we'll put it out on YouTube or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, that is still sort of behind the closed door.
All right. It's so good. I love it so much. And I
wait.
can't wait to see the next what's this one called? The new one?
Peace, quiet, and a little dirt.
Right. Peace, quiet, and a little dirt. And Steve Young plays a hitman, if you can believe it. If you're lucky enough to be able to go to one of these shows that is screening this, go do it. Otherwise, we'll keep you posted as to when this stuff comes out. I just want to say to the three of you, thank you very much all for your friendship. Was there anything that we missed? Is there anything that we need to, Irene, is there anything that
We had We had a tiny buzzing vehicle go by that obliterated much of your last 30 seconds of audio.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
good.
you said
Okay.
Irene
No,
is
no,
there
no.
what?
I said we're moving into the close here. Is there anything that we missed before we close up this installment? Is there anything else that we wanted to talk about before?
No, we've done adventures. Tomorrow we do plan another adventure to a gorgeous place. And Steve's been a great sport. He's had his quiet time as much as I've just intruded and interrupted.
I'm a creative genius. You must leave
The
me.
genius alone. But he's been because Rupert and I always whisper back and forth. Rupert says, "Do you think he's having a good time?"
Aw.
And then I always say, "I think so." And then,
And then
you know,
he says, "Why are we whispering? He went for a walk an hour."
oh, he does he's adventurous.
Oh, he's very independent.
He's
too. Yes.
independent and adventurous. He takes walks and, Coca-Cola diet. That's if he has to communicate, he's gotta. But no, I think he's having fun. I've been thrilled to have him with us.
I appreciate that very, very, very much. Like I say, I'll kind of move to the close with how I started. I have a lot of envy. I wish that we could be there. And Candy and I, it's still on our bucket list to get out there with you guys. One of these times. I just appreciate the invitation. I'm so grateful that Steve accepted it and he's out there. It's just awesome to see you guys
We're
doing this
grateful.
stuff. Hey Rupert, how's hello-deli.com going?
It's still up. I'm thinking of putting some money into it and adding more videos and pictures to the site.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'm working on that now. So that's going to be my next project.
Well, that's excellent. Still the only sponsor, Sag Peanut Butter, they're a friend of the show, but the only sponsor of the Letterman podcast, of course, is hello-deli.com. Go to hello-deli.com for official Late Show with David Letterman merchandise, like mugs and shirts and all sorts of fun stuff, curated by Rupert Jee himself, who may or may not put some videos on there. He's enjoying retirement. Leave him alone. He'll do what he's going to do. I love you guys very, very much. I'm extremely
It's
grateful
mutual,
for your
Mike.
friendship. And I just want to say thank you for all your well wishes while I've been going through what I've been going through. I'm excited that we're back, and I'm really excited that in our first few episodes that come out that you guys are a part of it. So thank you very, very, very much. I love you very, very
Thank
much.
you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks
Mike.
for having on.
I want to hang out with you guys in New York sooner than later. I'm putting it out to the universe that we can make that happen.
Mike, are you planning on coming to the city in the near future?
The desire is there, like you wouldn't believe. We don't have any concrete plans, but Candy and I were talking on the couch last night, and it's like we need to get to New York so badly. So when we do, you will be the first to know.
Okay, yeah, let's all work on that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've got a. You know what? I'll hit stop here, and I'll tell you about. I've got a bucket list idea for the show here, and if it did happen, it would be a really, really, really cool thing. So I'll tell you about that in a minute here. But let's button it up now. This has been another episode of the Letterman Podcast with Mike Chisholm.
Oh,
That's
the
Rupert
thing.
Jee. That's Steve Young. That's Irene Hoffman. Thank you all very much. I hope you have a fantastic
Thank
day.
you.
And thank you and good night.
Overcoat and underpants.